morning, welcome back to my channel, Our Wandering Footprints. So a few days ago I made a recipe in my crock pot, and you can find it in my crock pot playlist. I'll try to leave a little iCard if I can figure out how to do that. I'm not very versed on YouTube yet, so anyway, so I'm going to be making dehydrated mushrooms today in my Excalibur dehydrator, because I used the last of my mushrooms in that Salisbury steak crock pot meal. So I thought you might want to come along and see how I dehydrate them, and maybe you might want to try it too. Okay, here's the mushrooms I'm going to use to dehydrate. We bought them at our local Sam's Club actually yesterday, and I wanted to go ahead and get started because mushrooms don't last very long, and these are already pre-sliced for us and clean, but I may have to cut a few if they're too thick. Like, yeah, so see, that's kind of thick. So what I'm going to do is just start on one container at a time. And so yeah, that's definitely way too thick to be putting on the dehydrator. So I'm going to take my knife and just kind of slice them the best I can. Just like that. And they don't have to be perfect. And I'm just going to place them on my trays. They're beautiful mushrooms. I mean, you don't want them too thin, but I definitely don't want to have them take forever to dry, because it's going to take about 8 hours anyway. If they're too thick, it might take longer than that. So yeah, these are a little bit thicker than I thought they were going to be, but that's okay. They're beautiful. And I loved having my dehydrated mushrooms. I never used to really be a big mushroom fan, but I like them more so now. I don't know why. I really like them like deep fried. Those are really good. But that Salisbury steak that I made in my crock pot was really good, and I ate them. They were great. My husband loves them, so that's a big plus. So yeah, so you want to just slice them 1/4 inch, a little bit less than 1/4 inch, and they're going to dehydrate. I think it's about 125 degrees on my Excalibur. I will show you when I get to that point. And I'm not going to spray them with anything, because if they get wet, then they're going to turn an ugly gray color, and it's just not very attractive in your jars. So that's why I bought them already sliced and ready to go, so I wouldn't have to go into all that mess. So okay, I'm going to fill up this tray, and I'll bring you back and show you, and then we'll get started on the rest of them. Okay, here's one full tray of the sliced mushrooms. Okay, now I'm gonna finish these 2 containers up, and we'll see how many trays we have, and I'll bring you back to that. Okay, I've got 6 full trays of the mushrooms that I'm dehydrating, and I put them on 125 degrees. It's way back there. I can't pull it out because it's on my big shelf. 125 degrees, and I've got it set for about 8 hours, and I'll check it, and we'll periodically just see where it's at. But it's going to take at least 8 hours. It might take a little bit more, and I'll bring you back for the final results. Okay, welcome back. The mushrooms I let them in there for about 10 hours instead of 8, just to make sure that they were like overnight, to make sure they were dry. They turned out beautiful. See and the color is just gorgeous. These are just regular white mushrooms, white button mushrooms that I had got at our local Sam's Club. Is already pre-sliced, and they turned out beautiful. And this is hopefully going to fill my quart jar. And so let's put it in the jar. Let's see what we got here. We might need 2 jars. But I should wear gloves all the time when you do dehydrated or freeze-dried stuff, because you don't want the oils of your hands getting on them. So I'm trying to be easy and not break them up. And then I'm going to seal them up. Nope, that might be too much. Okay, let's see what we got here. Kind of shake the jar a little bit until they settle. Okay, we could put a few more in there. Just do it without the funnel. See what we got. Because we're going to suck all the air out with my food saver. Well, that's probably good. I'll get another jar or half a jar out of it. So, okay, so I think I'm going to use the wide mouth pint jar. That should probably take the rest of this. If not, then I'll switch it to a quart jar. But I think this might, I don't know, it might be too much for this jar. Let's shake it down a little bit. Might be able to get it all in there. As long as it doesn't interfere with the seal, then we should be good. And all this little teeny bit of dust crumbs, I'm using it because it will actually make a real good thickener if you put it in stew or some soup or something like that. Casserole. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to get my sealer set up and we're going to seal it up. Okay. So I have these, they're Food Savers jar sealers, and they work wonderful to put on your seal on your jars. And I save my seals even though I've canned with them and I can't use them for canning. I can use them for my dehydrated stuff, which is perfect. So you just put your seal on, put that down on it, and then you lock up your sealer. And this is the little, it hooks to the machine and then it hooks to your jar, which is what the tube is, what sucks your air out. Okay, and then you press, mine has vacuum and seal or canister, and that's what I'm going to use, is canister, and it's probably going to be kind of noisy. Takes a few seconds just to suck all the air out. And you should hear a pop with the seal when it's done. And if you don't hear it pop, then you need a different seal. There it went. So take this off. And it's sealed. They're so beautiful. I think I'm going to go back to Sam's Club and get some more. Okay, now let's do the quart jar. Put it back on there and put your tube on, and then hit canister again. I have an older model, maybe that's why it's so noisy, I don't know. When I get a newer one, it might not be so loud. I didn't hear a pop. It might have not have sealed. Nope, it did. I just didn't hear it, but it sealed. So there you go. I got a quart jar and a pint jar of dehydrated mushrooms out of 2 of those containers from the grocery store. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have a dehydrator and haven't tried mushrooms, they are wonderful. And you know, you can open it and use part of it and then just reseal it, so you don't have to use the whole thing at one time. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss any upcoming videos. And I have some canning videos coming up in the next few days, so I hope you come back around. Have a great day. Bye.